The rupee continues to hit record lows versus the dollar, and it's now inching towards the 82 levels. Conventional wisdom tells us that rupee depreciation benefits the Indian IT companies, and that's true. The Nifty IT index has been the best performing index this week. So we're now going to explain how the movement of the rupee versus the dollar impacts the Indian companies. Now, if I'm earning $1 in USDs, earlier when I would convert it, I would get say 75 rupees or 80 rupees. But now when I convert, I will get 82 rupees. So straight away, that's an added benefit for my top line on conversion. It also benefits my margins as my operating costs do not move up in the same quantum as most of my staff is based in India. But there is another angle, and it's called cross-currency, which is caused by the near 5 to 6% appreciation of the euro GBP against the dollar, and this is going to take away part of the benefit of the INR depreciation on the margin. Now I'm here to tell you how this works. Now, the Indian IT companies roughly get about 50 to 65% of their revenues from the United States, that is in US dollars. Now, if you look at the individual companies, the highest exposure is that of HCL Tech at 65%, the least is Tech Mahindra at 50%, TCS stands at 55%, while Infosys is nearly at 60%. Now, with the INR between 81 and 82 rupees, we're looking at a sharp 3% quarter-on-quarter average depreciation for the Indian currency versus the US dollar. The rate that we typically look at is the average rate for the quarter. In Q1, the average rate was about 77 rupees and 25 paise. It's now inching towards that 80 mark in the current quarter. 1% rupee depreciation is positive for the margins to the tune of about 25 to 35 basis points. So it's a significant benefit that Indian IT companies will get. But remember, the Indian IT companies also generate about 35 to 50% of their revenues in non-USD currency. Mostly it's from Europe and UK, the other two developed economies, but the other important currencies are yen, where TCS has an exposure, Australian dollar, the Canadian dollar, and these currencies have seen a very sharp fall against the US dollar. Now let me tell you how this works. Example, if I'm earning 100 euros worth of work, earlier when I would convert it back into US dollars, I would get say 102, 103 euros, but now when I convert it, I'm only going to get 98 US dollars. So that's straight away a loss of about $5 worth of work, and that's called cross-currency. And this happens when the euro, GBP and all the other currencies depreciate against the dollar. And this quarter, we are likely to see significant cross-currency headwinds, and this will take away part of the benefit of the INR depreciation. Yes, there will be a benefit of INR depreciation on the margins, which will reflect in the Q2 margins, but it will be partly eaten away by the cross-currency headwinds. The math is a bit complicated, to understand the net benefit, it depends on what rate the revenue is booked, how much of the revenue comes in from each of the geographies, what percentage of it is hedged, what the hedge rates are. But the moot point that we are driving at is that while optically the INR depreciation appears as a tailwind, cross-currency headwinds will ensure only a marginal tailwind for the IT companies this quarter.